What's up, guys? It's Lauren from Well Behaved Women. We are about to present to you an awesome episode with a guest that we had. Very excited to present this. We are having a fundraiser. If you want to donate and help us get from one mic to multiple for our little DIY podcast, that would be we'd be very grateful. If you feel like doing that, you can go over to any of our social media pages. They have our GoFundMe linked. But for now, enjoy the show, and thanks for listening. Bye.
A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler?
I've heard no shame.
Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
She's gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather.
I can bumfuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl. I am here to audition for Babysitters Club extras.
I brought my own hammer. Hello and welcome to another episode of Well Behaved Women. Each week, our host Lauren tells us about the life of a different woman from history. She can be legendary or infamous, and we don't know. Just quite yet. She hasn't told us yet. I am one of your hosts, Hannah, and this week we are joined by a very special guest. We have Gina from the We Live podcast. How are you doing, Gina?
Good. How are you ladies today? I'm excited to be here.
Yay, we're good. I'm good so far. I can't speak for everyone.
So since it's just us gals,
Just us gals.
we're going to do kind of a special little episode. And this is kind of a little side series that I thought would be really fun to kind of really get into because the whole world is insane. So today we're going to do an On This Year in History.
Oh, that's
On this
fun.
year in history, Zeus fucked around a bit.
Oh.
Ancient Greece was fully into mythology.
Okay.
And so for our guest spot today with Gina, we get into Greek goddesses.
Oh, I like this. Yay.
Yay.
Alpha to Omega, Adikia to Zoe. That we're going to do all of them. And obviously we can't tell the story about the gals without the story about the guys. Some of these characters have fairly limited information about them, and others are going to have a lot more source material. So as we build our little Parthenon of babes, the stories are going to get more intertwined, but for now, we're character building, because I don't know if you knew this, but there's a shit ton of Greek gods. There's a lot.
It's overwhelming from what I heard or know of. The small little bit I get. It's just everybody.
I'm not biting off more than I can chew.
No, you. No.
And then you've got
In my
like
life.
the Titans too, and then all those other like smaller, lesser gods, and then the like demigods.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a
the
huge
demigods,
thing.
disgraced gods, important humans.
Exactly. So we're going to try and go through like all of the chronology of that at some point. But tonight, we're going to talk characters. So we're just going to introduce the first 3 generations.
Okay.
Let's do it.
From my research, I'm pulling from a great website called Hellenica World, and that puts information into like normal information for the regular people to understand. And so in the especially as we kind of character build, there will be a lot of gods in there as well before I can kind of get focused on here's the goddess's story. Plus there's so much incest in all of these groups, so you're just going to hear about them over and over again.
Mine isn't there.
Yeah.
All the best stories have incest, right?
Oh,
like
I don't
or
know
the
if I want to
worst?
answer
I
that
don't know.
question.
I don't know. Anyway, so I'll
They're
take from
intriguing.
Hellenica, I'll take Wikipedia. Wikipedia references both Hesiod and Homer. None of this makes sense right now, but it will.
Okay.
But basically up top, I'm just going to go ahead and say this is by no means fully the accepted version. This is just as much an oral history legend as the last episode we recorded, Hannah, and all of these things have different genealogy. So there's, a few main versions, but there's also 50 other accepted versions. And we'll go into that. Yeah, I said welcome to the world of one bore another, and another bore another, and a third, and so forth and so on. But then the third came first and the second came fifth, maybe because they might have had different moms and different versions of a story. None of it makes sense.
And we love that.
All right, so from, the saying, from chaos comes order.
Mm-hmm.
From chaos came everything.
Oh.
That's deep.
I was going to say, it's a deep cut.
According to Greek mythology, from chaos came the first gods. Chaos was the nothing out of which birthed Nyx, which is the darkness of the night, Gaia, which is the earth, Tartarus, which is a place, the underworld, and there's briefly mention of it as like an actual god, Eros, which is the god of desire, and Erebus, which is specifically the darkness of the underworld. So we've got Nyx, who's the darkness of the night, and Erebus, which is darkness of the underworld. These are two different levels of dark.
Separate
Okay.
darknesses.
Separate darknesses. So just Chaos is the OG mother, and then we've got all these little ones. So she's got all these elemental gods as kids, and the first daughter of Chaos is Nyx, which is, again, darkness of the night. So she's usually portrayed with like a dark halo cloud or in black robes, very much resembling nighttime, like the sky or like a dark cloud is kind of
Like
about to-
moonlight, kind of.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a different thing. So we'll get into
Oh,
so
shoot.
dumb. So, Nyx and Erebus, the two different kinds of dark, they have, like, so they get together, they fucking.
They banging.
And
They fucking. They
That's
bumping
all-
uglies.
That's probably the easiest way I can say for any of this, because it kind of just goes into, like, well, so with this one, she had these guys, and with this one, she had these guys, and by herself, she had all these others.
Oh, God.
Oh,
She could
little
do it all by
self-love.
herself.
Oh, yeah.
IND.
If only we could still be so productive with self-love.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
just get hungry. That's all I get. No babies there.
Nope, just food babies.
That's the easier baby to care for anyway.
Oh, yeah, because,
Yeah.
it's gone in a few minutes.
Gone. Yeah. So, Nyx and Erebus, the two different kinds of darkness, they have Aether, which is brightness, and Hemera, who is the female personification of the day.
Uh-huh.
Ah, so her child is her kind of opposite.
Yeah, her counterpart.
Yes. So, they lived in Tartarus, like, Gaia is the earth, Tartarus was the underworld. It was both a character and a location. So, according to Apollodorus, it was, quote, a gloomy place in Hades, as far distant from Earth as Earth is distant from the sky.
All right, so pretty much the opposite, of the sky. Absolute opposite.
Yeah, the down below.
Yeah. So we're smack in the middle.
So Nyx lives in the underworld, and some of her kids, including Hemera, also live in the underworld. So the story goes that they're never there at the same time. As the sun sets, Hemera comes home to Tartarus right as Nyx leaves. And then when morning comes, Nyx returns home as Hemera leaves. So they're never the twain shall meet.
So that's a bad mother-daughter relationship right there.
They're definitely
Potentially.
avoidant. Yeah, there's some avoidant behavior there, for sure.
If they ever meet, things are very, very bad.
Oh, God, what time of day is it then?
I think it's a solar eclipse.
I was going to say,
Oh.
wouldn't it be like an eclipse where it's the
Yeah.
same time?
I saw that.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Was
Yes.
that the one, like, 2017?
Yes, it
I
was.
saw that one. That was really
Were
fun.
you, like, in the total eclipse zone?
Yeah, we took a trip. We took the kids,
Oh.
and we went to some place in Kentucky, and it was totally like, you have to see one. There's one coming up,
Oh,
and
God.
we're gonna go again, because it's like, you're like, oh, I didn't know, I'm insignificant, I don't
Yeah.
matter. This
Yep.
rock is out
It
there.
really gives you
Oh.
perspective on things.
It is
I've gotta
crazy.
look up. I'm going to see when the next one is, because if that's something
I think
coming
there's
up
one in
soon.
2024, and
There
the
is.
full solar thing is in Vermont, I want to say. Like somewhere in Vermont or Maine. You
crazy.
can go and hang out where it'll have almost all of the occlusion.
Yeah, I
that's
think
crazy.
it follows almost a similar path as the last time. I know it'll go through like about the same area. Oh my God.
Mm.
If I could be rich and just chase those, that's what I would do.
I would
I'd have
love
my
that.
boat in the middle of the ocean. I'd just be like, give me an eclipse.
Do you see like everything in the not everything in the galaxy, but you get to see like the Milky Way and everything?
It's not like basically all around you is sunset. So like if you look 360, it looks like sunset. So it's like purpley reddish, and then you look up and you can like you see the moon, like you can see the parts of the moon, and then you see the sun behind it. So it's like the perspective you can like see it hanging.
Yeah,
like,
the moon literally has a halo around it.
Yes, it is
of bright light.
Like
so
pictures
cool.
look great, but it is
Yeah.
totally like an out of like. My daughter was like 1.5 at the time, and she was like crying, and she didn't know why, but she was like, "This is something important."
Because it's beautiful, yeah.
That's so sad. The poor girl probably thought the apocalypse was happening.
She thought it was great. She was like, she was
good.
like, "This is important." And then the older
great.
one was like, "It's just a black sun," because she was scared.
Oh,
It's just a black sun. It's okay.
Maybe she'll change her tune because the next one is April 8th of next year.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she'll
and
be
then
much more versed.
The one that we can see also from the US will be August 23rd next year. So we have like 2 shots to see it.
That's the August one because the last one was in August also. So I bet it's that one.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Where were we?
That's my solar eclipse plug. Never the two shall meet. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
never
right.
the twain shall meet. So Hemera and Nyx, they're constantly bound to be missing each other because night and day can't mix. Nyx also has other gods on her own. She has Moros, which is the god of doom or destiny. I want to say they're called the Keres or the Keres. I don't know. Keres. I don't know how to pronounce that, but the Keres. They're female death spirits, and they're depicted as ladies with very large wings, and they're not detectable to anyone that isn't right about to die. So they'll appear on the battlefield, and a piece of armor describes them best. This is from the Shield of Heracles, which is dated 248 to 57, and I want to say that's BC, but I have no idea. Don't quote me on that.
Okay. So like almost like an angel?
Yeah. So it says, quote, "The black dooms gnashing their white teeth, grim-eyed, fierce, bloody, terrifying, fought over the men who were dying for they were all longing to drink dark blood. As soon as they caught a man who had fallen or one newly wounded, one of them clasped her great claws around him, and his soul went down to Hades, to chilly Tartarus. And when they had satisfied their hearts with human blood, they would throw that one behind them and rush back again into the battle and the tumult."
Okay, so not like angels.
An angel of death.
No. Like monsters. Like absolute monsters.
Oh, totally. Oh, that's
That will
terrifying.
Rip
they're
you
just
apart
down
and
there.
send you to Hades in the battlefield.
Yeah.
God,
And
that
they
would
just
be
need
an
to drink
awful
blood.
reality. Just terrible. If that was real, good Lord.
Oh.
God.
You're already in battle. You're like facing the worst, no doubt, the worst experience of your life at that point. And then all of a sudden, this like fucking terrifying and violent angel of death shows up to only you. And so you're getting gnawed apart and nobody else can see it.
Oh, God, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So,
Christ.
yeah.
Yeah, we're all just kind of sitting here going,
She's insane.
I
Yeah.
can't stop imagining it. I'm like, that's awful.
I really wanted to make a little like slideshow for this, but I ran out of time. I truly
That's
did.
okay.
Because
Our
this is very
imaginations.
detailed.
Are definitely enough.
Yes, let your imaginations run wild. This is a name that you might recognize. She births Thanatos, who is the personification of death.
Oh, yeah. Now it's starting to reach into, I don't know, I mean, I've got to bring it up. Lore Olympus, that webcomic that, I don't know if anybody reads that. No. Okay.
No, sorry.
That's okay. It's something that like one of my younger coworkers started getting me to read. It's just like a webcomic, like a graphic novel online, and it's all about the Greek gods, and it talks about the Persephone and Hades relationship. But Thanatos is like a Grim Reaper, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also you so obviously it sounds a little bit like the main kind of big baddie in the Marvel universe where he snaps his fingers and half of the universe is gone. It's definitely a play on words with there. They were.
I never made that connection.
Oh, so clever.
I didn't want to say it because I'm like, am I dumb? Is that the same?
No, Thanatos,
No.
it's very, very similar, yeah.
No, that's
which is why I
amazing.
mentioned it. It's the personification of death. So when he snaps his fingers,
That makes sense.
I am inevitable. Boom.
exactly. She also has Hypnos, which is,
God of sleep.
there you go.
Also a Pokemon that does a lot of sleep.
And it has that swirly thing, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he has the little, I guess, medallion or whatever that people associate with hypnotism. But yeah, it's Hypnos.
She has Momus, which is, oh, hold on. Before that, she has the Onieroi. Onieroi.
Why does that sound familiar?
Oneiroi. Onieroi. I don't know. It's the god of dreams.
Oh, God of Dreams.
Right.
And
So she gave birth to everything night and scary.
So
She gave
there was
birth to my
actually a
soul.
little bit of lore for that too. So when they came together and joined things with union, through like sexual union, a lot of these things were like a lot of the gods that were created there are positive and like born of love and happy things. And then when she's making them of herself, it's more division, and so those are going to be more negative connotations of gods.
cool. So
Or neutral. I mean, sleep is very neutral.
yeah,
Dreams are neutral.
I love sleep. I like dreams.
Exactly. She births Momus, which is blame and the personification of satire and mockery.
Oh, didn't
All
know they
hail
had a
Momus.
god for that.
It's a little interesting to throw them in the mix. But I guess, it kind of goes along with like nighttime. You tell jokes at night at a comedy club. I don't know. I want to make it all fit in my head.
Next comes the god of the 2-drink minimum.
Ooh, and the god of last call.
And bring 5 friends.
Yes.
Oh, god of cover charges.
The god of cover charges, absolutely. Ugh. And then there's the god that splits the bill and is like, I don't. Nobody invited him. Everyone just needs to get their own check. Nobody invited him.
Yeah, nobody wants to split it evenly when you had 6 margaritas, Phil.
I had one salad. One.
Yeah, one. It was
And
a
a
side
water.
salad.
They charged me for the lemon.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm just joking.
And it was
I know.
old, too. It was an old lemon. Wasn't even
It
a
wasn't
fresh
even
one.
fresh.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, sorry, as a little aside, Hannah, you definitely need to do the We Live thing with Gina. She and her husband Joe are so fucking funny, and
I'm very excited. I'm trying to
you have
find
like
a
a little
character.
personality that you've got to play around with, or you can do yourself. But
Yeah, you can
I
do
could.
either.
Great plug.
Susan Gunderson is damn hilarious. Like, probably my favorite character on the show.
I have so much fun with her too.
I can't wait.
It turned out so well. I was shocked about it. I was like, "Holy shit! This actually sounds really good."
I listened to it like at least 5 times because like this is really good. I'm like, I don't know how we managed to do this. Well, this came together.
This
It's
sounds like a real
amazing.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't like half-assed. This is good.
And it's mixed well too. Like the sound balance is really good too, and the song
That's
choices,
awesome.
like the whole thing, just flows really well. So you did a great job with it.
Well, thank you.
Maybe we should try to bring Susan back.
Oh, Susan's already had another recurrence. We'll see if she survived this one.
Ah.
I think next time Susan needs to show up in the Florida Everglades,
Oh.
or
we
like
had a-
or in Louisiana somewhere.
We had a guy from Florida on, and so there's a little bit of Florida lore now, and there are alligator cops.
Yay!
Oh!
Wait, cops that are alligators or cops for alligators?
No, cops that are alligators.
That's awesome.
Yes, and I had AI make a picture because I can't draw. It looks
Oh.
ridiculous because I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this, but the computer can.
Oh, the
Oh my
computer
God.
can now. It's very funny what it can do.
That's amazing. Where were
Sorry, my
we?
cat keeps trying to join in, and I'm trying to keep
That's
her
okay.
vocal ass out of here.
She wants to sing at you. She's
I
trying to be a
know.
well-behaved kitty.
She has been just like a little longer.
We just
little
stopped
longer.
with Momus, and we got sidetracked.
Momus,
Oh, yes.
yes.
Museum of
Also,
Modern
Momus
Art,
is
yeah.
like kind of a more ancient form of like memetics, which we now know as memes. So when we kind of look at memes that are a little bit more like they mock things, they have this little
Like
satirical thing.
satirical.
Yes, it comes all the way back from Momus.
Oh,
That's crazy.
wow.
Because I know where memes started, but I didn't know where the name meme. That's wow.
That I
that
didn't
was
know it
pretty
had a more deeper than just somebody came up with it one day for the name or the name.
So when I read out all of these names, just kind of think about like the way that our language is set now, and it will relate back. Like if we're not using
Yeah.
the Romanized version of this word, we're using a variation of the Greek version of this word, and
Right.
it's super fascinating.
That's crazy. It's good for
All
the
right.
SATs.
Yeah. Now that we're all too
Ooh.
old to take them.
We could always go back.
No thanks.
No.
No, never again.
No. No. My mom signed me up for like extra tests too, and I will never do it again. I never want to see a Scantron.
I walked in and I was like, I haven't studied. I haven't done anything. This whatever this score is what it's gonna be. And thank God I'm a good test taker because I was like, I'm not doing this again.
Brave.
So
that.
brave.
I took the ACT once. I didn't have to take the SATs, and it was good enough to get
Ooh.
into the college that I wanted to at the time. So I was like, bye. I'm not
I
doing
would
that
have
again.
done that.
I'm not putting myself through that anymore.
I absolutely would have done that method, but my mom's like, no, we want to open up the Eastern Seaboard area, so let's do the SATs because they do that on the East Coast. And then she signed me up for that too, and I was like, crap.
Sounds like your mom had some pretty high expectations of you and your future.
She did.
How is
Mom,
she
don't
doing?
listen.
How's she doing with what you do now?
Oh, she's excited to see where it goes. I am too. It's just gonna be Gina, I do a little bit of UX design on the side. Trying to get started. So I'm trying to lean into the research side, which I think she's more excited about. But she's trying to see if I can go to school in Italy, and I was like, hold on a minute.
I will. I'll be their fake
I don't know
daughter.
if I can afford that lifestyle right now.
I don't know though. I feel like Europe's probably cheaper than large cities around here. Like in the US.
Most parts
I
of
don't know.
Italy are way cheaper too. Like if you can
True.
live outside, if you can deal with living outside of the city for a bit.
Yeah, actually, I could get a student visa if I'm doing that, then that's not an issue.
I
You
have
can't
thought
work.
so many times about emigrating to Italy. I want to do it so badly. I like back when they had the £1 homes.
Oh
could
yeah,
Oh,
those
the
yeah.
€1
villages.
homes. I really wanted to
Yeah.
get one of those, but like the capital that you needed to actually get out there and get started was like insurmountable.
And that's the
You got to be
thing.
rich
Even-
to go and do
Yeah.
a thing where you can live for cheaper.
Right.
Yeah,
You have
and
to
if
be.
you're a
You have to have
student-
money to save money. Isn't that great?
It's
Isn't
so
it?
expensive to be poor. It is like
It is-
I
yes.
mean factually proven it is just so fucking expensive to live in poverty.
Yeah.
Being poor costs Americans so much money every single year. It's insane.
Yep, Dollar Tree's $1.25 now. So
Yeah.
we got
You
that
can't
going
even
for
call
us.
it a Dollar Tree anymore. It's $1.25 tree. That doesn't roll off the tongue.
Oh, no. That's the other
Remember
one.
the 99-cent store?
Yeah,
was
Family
nice, though.
Dollar's still around there somewhere, yeah?
Yeah, but they're like, oh, dollar. We mean like $3
$5.
and $5
Oh, yeah.
Have a
the
Splenda.
You've got
dollar
the
tier.
bins,
for $18.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty hefty for them.
but it's gonna be a cool thing.
Oh, it is?
No,
Oh.
it's not.
Okay.
That's just why they're
That
trying
went
to
right over
charge
my head.
out the nose for it. Is, ooh, it's one of our cooler items. Must be more expensive. No, you are a bottom bin wholesaler. Act like it. Price your things
Act like
accordingly.
Price like it.
You don't mop your floors. Don't charge us this.
We know that the money that you bring in does not go back to your labor costs. We are aware
Yeah.
of that.
There are some places, and I recently saw an article about it where it's like basically a bunch of Amazon returns and then they put them in these big bins and it's like they don't even double check what goes in there. If it's in a $5 bin, it's $5. It could be a laptop. And so it's like people will rush in on certain days of the week to get like electronics that come through, and then kitchen appliances are like the next day, and it's just I'm gonna look it up and send it to all of you because we all deserve those savings.
Are they broken though, or are they like?
No, they're just like returns. They do the refurbish, and they do refurbishing online. But any of the returns from those go right in there, so they're perfectly working. But they are just in an overstock warehouse.
Yeah, it's like a crapshoot what you're gonna get. You could get a bunch of mouse pads one day, but then you can get an iPad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Honestly, doing that blind hunt, that's fine. Like,
yeah.
that would
And you
be
find
fun
something
for
cool,
me,
and it's like
you
the
know?
best day ever.
I don't
It's
really
like a
care what I
thrift
get.
store.
I'll just be like, whatever. Yeah, you go in, you don't expect anything. You just kind of, you find what you find when you find it.
Yeah, you can't go to the thrift store with an agenda unless it's a Halloween costume. But then even that, you like kind of.
Yeah, you have to
Just like,
basically
what
pick
could
from
be?
what is available there. Well, I guess I'm going as Bob Ross for the 4th time. Because you never run out of blue shirts.
So after Momus, we get Oisis, or Oizys. I'm going to call it Oisis. She is the goddess of misery, anxiety, grief, depression, and misfortune.
Oh, well.
She's a downer.
Well, the millennial yeah.
I know her
Debbie
well.
Downer right there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
so that's
so
that
Oi-
bitch.
That's that bitch. Yeah.
That bitch.
We blame her, yes. She has essentially nothing to do with any stories. There's very little known about her, but honestly, she probably didn't leave the Cloud Kingdom long enough for the humans to actually write about her, or maybe when she visited, they were too depressed to record the encounter. We don't know.
No motivation. She took it all from them.
Exactly. She was an energy vampire.
Oh, I love that what we do in the shadows reference. Thank you. I feel seen.
Oh, they're 1000% real.
Oh,
If
yeah.
yeah, and everyone knows that one person that, like, no matter how
Mm-hmm.
short of a time you spend with them, it is so draining.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it can be the most
Yeah.
positive interaction. You guys can have a great time, but then when you get done, you're like, why?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I might even be related to a few.
Oh no. The best part is when you have the opposite one. When you have that person and you're just like 5 minutes with them is like a recharge and you're like, where are you?
Yeah.
I miss you.
just-
Absolutely.
Come here,
need
give
you-
me a
I need you
give me a
back.
battery charge.
Yeah, I just need
just
a
a little
big
drip.
hug for like 3 seconds and then just pat me on the head like you're proud of me, and then we'll find.
Yeah. Tell me it's going to be okay.
Say you're doing your best.
Tell me everything's going to be
am.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically it's a grandma.
Yes.
Ah.
It's a nana.
All right, so after we've got Oisis, who was just a real Debbie Downer, we've got the Hesperides, who are the little nymphs of the sunset. They could also be known
Ooh.
as Atlantides or Atlantides, but we'll get to Atlas in a bit. He's down the story.
Okay.
He shrugs a lot.
Ooh, but Nymphs of the Sunset.
Yes, it
That's a
does.
very sexy name. I like it.
Sounds like a strip club.
Yeah. They'd make a lot of money.
They'd all have to have like ridiculous like LA orange beach tans and like bleach blonde hair for it to work.
I would want them all
Yeah.
to have great
like a
goddess
theme.
names though. There would be no Candy or Trixie. They would all be
No.
I mean
Oasis.
yeah. Oh god. Could you imagine? She would definitely be goth. She would be
Oh,
just
yeah.
brooding in the corner.
Yep.
She'd be the dominatrix.
She
more
would be
than anything.
she would be choking.
yeah,
dudes.
she'd come out
Let's
with that,
not
yeah.
lie. She would be choking dudes. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Get your money. Get your money.
Yeah. Yeah, they paid for it.
This is therapy for them. They need this.
They come. I'm just doing what I'm paid to do. That's fine.
They know the safe word.
It's gotta be one that's hard to pronounce.
Onomatopoeia.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait.
Yeah, you did it. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
There we
yeah.
go. We've got the nymphs of the sunset, the little, I don't know, strip club girls, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where we start to see just how confusing genealogy is for the gods. So, from Wikipedia, here's what we have for the parents and siblings of these nymphs.
Okay.
They are either children of Nyx and Erebus, or Atlas and Hesperus, or Hesperus alone, or Phorcys and Ceto, or Zeus and Themis, or Nyx by herself.
So, yeah, that's a lot of options.
Where is Mari Povich when you need him?
Oh my god.
Her siblings could also have been Nyx and Erebus, Phorcys
Whoa.
and Ceto, or Zeus and Themis.
Okay. So, like, how do you untangle this mess?
I am my own grandpa. I don't know. I got nothing. It's all because it's dependent on who's telling the story and which version of the tale.
Right.
It's like
Right.
who begat
Who's
who.
your dominant god or goddess? And then that's kind of what you put in. Makes sense, though. They're all
Right.
city-states, so they're going to have a whole mess of stuff.
A whole mess
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
All different cultures that take on the story and then they switch it or change it or somebody forgets something.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes.
Nyx next has 3 more daughters we have all heard of,
Damn.
called the Moirai, or the Fates, the daughters of the
they're
night.
Spinning that
Oh. Take Sharon and Eyeball.
Yes,
Is that the
exactly,
right ones?
exactly.
Okay,
yes,
the
yes,
silence
this is exactly
totally
it.
made me think I had
No,
the
that's
wrong
exactly
sisters.
it. Oh yeah, no, I literally I have a line. Give me a second.
Okay.
Quote, the role of the Moirai was to ensure that every being, mortal and divine, lived out their destiny as it was assigned to them by the laws of the universe. For mortals, this destiny spanned their entire lives and was represented as a thread spun from a spindle. Hold that mortal's thread good and tight. That one. Those ladies,
Oh, that
the
was
sisters.
so good.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So the youngest daughter is Clotho. So she spins the thread of human life. Her job is to make decisions like when a human is to be born. This power enables her not only to choose who is born, but also to decide when gods or mortals were to be saved or put to death. Because she can manipulate who shows up at Earth at what time.
Interesting.
So she can have very specific people show up at just when they're needed. If there's a big battle that's going to happen.
Convenient. Very convenient.
That's a good power.
Right? The second Moirai is Lachesis, who held the string of human life. She was the apportioner, the measurer, and she would choose how long someone would live. She had this rod, and she would measure lives against it.
Okay.
So she's the one that's holding that string. The one with the silly hair and
Keeping it nice
stringy.
and taut.
Yes. And then the eldest daughter in the trio, this is the one that goes, indoor plumbing, it's gonna be big.
Best line.
The eldest daughter in the trio is Atropos. She is the inflexible one. She was also once mentioned as the smallest of the 3 fates, and it was Atropos who chose the manner of death that ended the life of mortals by cutting their threads.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got to
So she could be merciful or she could be cruel.
Yes.
Ah.
And only they knew when you were going to be born or how long you were going to live or how and when you were going to die.
All right.
So together, as a little trio, they did all sorts of funny shit, like show up 3 days after a baby is born to specifically tell you its fate. Like, here you go.
Here's all the... Do you want to know its fate or do you... I guess... I don't know.
I mean, it's a gift from the gods. You at least know, like, how long your kid's gonna live or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
I
I
don't know,
wonder-
man. If it's short, though, I wouldn't want to know that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those, like, kind of riddle mystery things where it's like, no matter what, they will have lived a full life, but you don't know how long that life is gonna be.
Oh, well, then that
I
would
got
be,
nothing.
like, comforting. I would be down with that because, like, it would mean at least it was good. Because you could have a crummy, really long life, and that would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people have those.
True. It is more about quality over length.
All right, so we've got the fates. Nemesis comes next. She is the goddess of retribution.
I like her.
Yeah.
The word nemesis originally, this is a quote, The word nemesis originally meant the distributor of fortune, neither good nor bad, simply in due proportion to each according to what was deserved. Later, nemesis came to suggest the resentment caused by any disturbance of this right proportion, the sense of justice that could not allow it to pass unpunished. She was known as implacable justice.
I love her. I very much love that.
She's got a vendetta.
She does, and I like that her character grows immediately, where it's like, she was supposed to be this neutral character, but then immediately people tried to take more than what was apportioned to them, and so now she is just, now her job is to distribute justice, not to actually, like, kind of be a messenger or a distributor.
Oh, hell no. You guys are not doing this.
Kind of a more jaded Lady Liberty.
A little bit, yeah.
Kinda. I'm getting a little Lady Liberty vibes in that way, but, like, again, jaded. I don't think Lady Liberty goes around, well, this is America.
A case could be made.
Skip me. I'm in a brain thought. Skip me. I'm just in a brain thought now.
So next we have the younger sister Apate. 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 I don't know. I got nothing. She's the goddess of deceit, and she'll really only show up in one story.
Okay.
The next person was Philites, who personified friendship, affection, and sexual intercourse.
Oh,
of course, that's a guy.
Well, no, never mind. Philo. I don't know.
Philites. Then
Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Phil. There we go.
Oh.
How brotherly is their brotherly love?
I don't know. They're pretty mean.
Like, how close are these brothers?
Oh, if they're in Greek mythology, they probably had some kids.
Because you can just do that.
They're very close. Very close, you could say. Or, like, think, like, bibliophile from the word philo.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, I guess you have a really good friendship with books?
Yeah. A fondness for it, so you could say. All right.
Do not have intercourse with said books, though. That would be...
That's just a waste of a good book.
Mm.
You could rip papers. You could ruin your book. It'd be a whole thing.
That too.
You don't want to do that. I'm not even thinking about the other aspects of it. I'm literally just thinking about, like, how sad it would be for that poor book.
That book would be traumatized.
Oh, yeah.
That book did not consent.
It literally would
It has
never be
no
the same.
ability to consent.
No.
Untold damages. This is so stupid. So dumb. Okay, so next she has Garrus, who is the god of old age, and Eris, who is the goddess of strife and discord.
Ah, okay.
All right, so there's possibly a couple different goddesses named Eris. It's Eris or Eros, maybe. We'll get to one today, and we'll get to the other one later.
Okay. So after all, there was not one kind of strife alone, but all over the earth there are two. As for the one, a man would praise her when he came to understand her, but the other is blameworthy, and they are wholly different in nature. For one fosters evil, war, and battle, being cruel. Her no man loves, but perforce through the will of the deathless gods, men pay harsh strife her honor due. Nyx, and the son of Kronos, i.e. Zeus, who sits above and dwells in the ether, set her in the roots of the earth, and she is far kinder to men. She stirs up even the shiftless to toil, for a man grows eager to work when he considers his neighbor, a rich man who hastens to plow and plant and put his house in good order. A neighbor vies with his neighbor as he hurries after wealth. This strife is wholesome for men, and potter is angry with potter, and craftsman with craftsman, and beggar is jealous of beggar, and minstrel of minstrel.
That was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if either of them are positive, but okay.
Yeah, I was kind of like, because one sounds like envy, maybe?
Yeah, like jealousy almost.
Kind of. Yeah, that's, I think, what I was thinking of.
Well, strife and discord can come in many different forms. So I maybe there's like kind of simple envy, and then there's just general, I don't want to say chaos because that's the mother of all the things, but there's general discord among people just because
Due
they
to
just
like
want to fight.
inequality or
Yeah.
just something. Okay.
Yeah, it feels like the one is maybe like they see a positive benefit because it's about working, like
Mhm.
it has to do with your output, and the other one is just like, oh, you hate each other.
Yeah. Just a little bit, yeah. So Chaos has a bunch of kids. We've already talked about that.
That's just
Or
like her.
God things, elements, pieces of the universe, I don't know, something like that. One of them is called Gaia. And Gaia is a primordial goddess and the personification of Earth.
I see, almost like a Big Bang. So chaos created the Big Bang. I'm trying to make that make sense, but it's kind of
chaos.
interesting.
I mean, the Big Bang happened when chaos first gave birth to
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Right.
So you've
That's
got
when everything
yeah.
starts to spin around and form together. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind
And
of
then
the
you get-
origin of everything has a similar-ish origin. You know, there's a mound that comes
Yeah.
out of water and
right.
everything comes out. It's interesting how the whole world has the same idea of how things start.
That is so crazy to me.
It's almost like we're not actually that different.
No.
Mhm.
I know
Novel
that
idea
sounds
there.
insane. I know.
But you have to be different than me. That's not, we can't
You
hate each
gotta.
other then.
Then who do I hate?
Right? Tell me who to hate. Come on,
Billionaires.
Discord.
Just give
Where
me a
are
target.
you?
Help. Anyway, so let's talk about Gaia. Gaia
Alright.
also has a bunch of kids. So she gives birth to Uranus, who is her counterpart in the sky or heaven, Aurea, which is the mountains, and Pontus, which is the sea.
Okay.
All three of these are born of her and her alone. So you've got the sky, the mountains, and the sea. Kind of the three levels
Perfect.
of Earth.
So she's an earth goddess. We had the underworld. We got the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nyx also she also had like, she had light and dark as like kids, you know, those elements were of various shades of brightness.
Yeah.
And then you've got Gaia, who's like, here's all the elements of it. So we've got this, you know, the water and the earth and the sky.
It's so weird because even that like is kind of in the, like even biblical. Like you got the separation of the dark and light, and then the earth and the seas and all that. It's so weird.
Yeah. So let's see. Gaia gives birth to Uranus, and then Uranus rapes her.
That's what you do to your mom.
Because so either there was a loving union or he rapes her over and over and over again. So
Damn, man.
And this is one of those like, these are going to be gods that are born of violence because it's a rape product.
So these are not going to be positive gods.
Well, we'll get into it. So she gives birth to the 12 Titans from the script of Hesiod.
She lay with heaven and bore deep swirling Oceanus, Coeus, and Creus, and Hyperion, and Iapetus, Thea and Rhea, Themis, and oh good God,
Mnemosyne.
Mnemosyne. Ooh, cool name. And crowned Phoebe and lovely Tethys. Do you want me to retry that?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
We'll go into them.
Oh, sweet. After them was born Cronus, the wily youngest and most terrible of her children, and he hated his lusty sire. Ah, so he's going after his dad.
He does not like his papa.
I get
it. So we're going to go into we're just going to read about these different goddesses. And since I'm going to be focusing on goddesses, we're going to kind of go into those more. But you will also get a quick little thing about the males as well.
He's just Ken.
I do want to see that movie. Sorry, it took me a second.
You're good. July, baby.
So I heard they had a pink paint shortage because of it.
Yes,
I
they
heard
did.
The same
yes.
Global pink paint shortage.
You guys must listen to NPR.
Yes.
I do.
We all read that story.
Yes.
3 times in one day.
Oh, really?
Also, does it make you feel old to know that like your friends, you're like, oh, did you hear this thing? And it's like everyone heard the same thing on APR because we're
Yeah.
all news watching actual adults now.
I know. I have it I actually have them on my podcast too, so I get their like daily
So,
news
yeah.
roundups and everything.
The one that comes out at 6, you're like, I know when I need to know to get to work.
Yeah. They also have Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me as well in podcast
Wait, Wait, Don't
I
Tell
like
Me.
that show. That's a
Yeah.
fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been going through and re-listening to old ones.
That one's really fun. I remember listening to those as we were driving through Montana down moving here, and it was like we had to download a few of them because we lost signal so much.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like Sirius XM. Oh, it's so great. I don't know what we did without it. Never lose a signal.
You like your
Really?
Celestials radios.
Yes.
Mm.
So Gaia has a bunch. Yeah, Gaia has a bunch of kids. So Thea is the first goddess born of Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, she is the Greek goddess of sight and vision, and by extension, the goddess who endowed gold, silver, and gems with their brilliance and intrinsic value. Her brother consort is Hyperion, a titan and god of the sun, and together they are the parents of Helios, the sun, Selena, the moon, and Eos, the dawn.
All right.
So her brother partner is Hyperion. So that's she has 12 titans, and so they all get cut off.
So she's the view of the sun. Well, their kids are like the space of the sun because she's like, because he's sun-ish, and she's about like the way that things look. So it's the sun, the moon, and then the dawn. That's cool.
Yep.
At least they kind of try to make sense, and
they all make sense. Yeah.
So, never realized that before.
Yeah. Now that I'm learning about this and paying attention to it, it's like, oh, okay, that makes so much sense. Which is why we're talking about it.
Nice.
So Rhea is next. Quote, in early traditions, she is known as, quote, the mother of gods, and therefore is strongly associated with Gaia and Cybele, who have similar functions. I don't know who Cybele is.
All right.
The classical Greeks saw her as the mother of the Olympian gods and goddesses. The Romans identified her with Magna Mater, which is their form of Cybele, and the goddess Ops. Rhea and Cronus are lovers.
All right. So she's got a brother consort as well.
Her brother consort is the youngest of all of them.
Okay.
Third daughter is Themis, which means justice, law, and custom. So she's the goddess of personification. She's the goddess and personification of justice, divine order, law, and custom. She is the second wife of Zeus, and she is associated with oracles and prophecies, including the Oracle of Delphi. Her symbol is the scales of justice.
All right.
I like her.
Yeah.
So second wife of Zeus. Does that mean he had a first wife and then a second and a third, or he has like a polygamy thing going on?
We're going to get into
his wife?
We're not even going to talk like other than being mentioned as like kind of in the same realm. We're really not even going to get into Zeus tonight. The next time we meet and do this, because I think that this will be really fun to just keep going. For sure. I'll go into like once we get all of this character building done. Okay. Then we can get into like the story, and the story is a fucking soap opera.
It's gonna be like Vanderpump Rules Scandival.
Absolutely, style. It is. Oh. I cannot believe like it's gonna be so much so. I mean, we did the Zushi and like the Forbidden Concubines, or the
Game
concubines
of ancient China.
Absolutely. So this is going to be very much kind of similar to that. All right. So we have got. All right. Woo. So we had the Thea and Rhea and Themis. To the ancient Greeks, Themis was originally the organizer of quote the communal affairs of humans, particularly assemblies.
Okay.
Themis is untranslatable. This is by Moses Finley. Themis is untranslatable, a gift of the gods and a mark of civilized existence. Sometimes it means right custom, proper procedure, social order, and sometimes merely the will of the gods, as revealed by an omen, for example, with little idea of the right. Finley adds, there was Themis, custom, tradition, folkways, mores, whatever we may call it. The enormous power of it is or is not done.
All right. So like societal gatherings.
Basically, yeah, this
And
community kind of thing.
Yeah, and like how to conduct yourself in community and,
Yes.
and kind of how to get community working. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Customs and proper procedures, basically, these are the rules of society.
All right. That's
So-
a decent one to have.
Yeah, so she was justice, law, and custom. So she
She was like
was a
social
balanced lady.
order. Yeah,
Yes.
she was like social
Yeah.
order.
very much so.
Out of chaos. Well, a generation removed.
Out of chaos and earth comes
Societal order.
Themis. The tale
This
of
fall.
Themis. Can we? This would be really fun. Could we have Joe do like a silly like trailer about
Ooh.
all of the
Oh.
Titans coming out?
Yeah.
That'd be
Ooh,
really
that'd
fun.
be great.
Yeah, he'll do his movie voice. He can do that.
That's such a great
Coming
power
this
to have.
summer.
Was he the one that did the
Oh
the
my
ad
god.
for me?
Yes. He's
So funny.
888.
1-888 be dead, be dead.
he's like, I'm trapped in this office. Somebody help me. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's so weird. He's so weird, but it's like a fun weird.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the
he
best
married the
kind of way
guy.
to be.
Some days I'm like, okay, turn it off. I am not.
Yeah,
I'm
I do not have
there.
the energy for this today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't handle it right now.
Sometimes Gary gets like that, and I'm like, you know what? This is part of why I chose you. Yes. I
But
guess
not
I
right
just-
now.
But not this
now
moment.
is not then. I had him get a job that he can like log into at any point in time and work. Like you can just claim hours. And I was like, okay, when you need to talk to people, go do this. And I'm like, that's fine. You can do it at 2 in the morning. Nobody cares. It's like the like time life stuff. Like when people call in to like buy things.
Yeah.
He's like the guy. And he's like, oh, you want to buy an 8-hour disc of country music? Sure. Here you go.
Love it.
I'm like, that's fine. You talk to him all night. Leave me alone.
That's a yeah. Great way to be like, you know what? Make some money while you want to do that, but like
Yeah.
over there.
You chat away.
Yeah.
I'm taking a nap.
I'll be over here, snugging. I'm fine.
I do. I'll put cricket on when I don't want to, like when I want to be alone. I'll be like, isn't there a cricket match on? I'll turn it on and he'll start to watch and I distract him like a toddler.
Oh, that's the best. TV does it every time.
Phenomenal. I've heard of people doing that with like basketball games too, where they just
Yeah. Well, the good thing about cricket is that like some cricket is like literally days long. So I could be like, oh, cool. You can watch this forever.
Yeah. That'll distract you for a couple days. I can get a few things done.
All right, so after we've got Themis. Oh, she's also in the hymn of Apollo. In the hymn to Apollo, she's also referred to as Ichnaea, meaning tracker. Ichnnaea. Ichnaea. I don't know. After this, we get Mnemosyne, who is the goddess of memory.
What was the name again?
Mnemosyne, or
Mnemosyne.
the start of mnemonics, like mnemonic
Yeah.
devices.
Yeah.
And see, I went to pneumonia.
That's
Very different. My bad.
the goddess of chest colds.
So it's
congestion.
it's spelled like mnemosyne. So Mnemosyne. Mnemosyne.
Mnemosyne. It's such a cool name.
That is a good one.
It's pretty neat. Let's see. She's also the mother of the 9 muses, which we will also get to later. According to tales, the poets and kings received their powers of authoritative speech from Mnemosyne. She's also thought to have been given the distinction of quote-unquote Titan because memory was so important and basic to the oral culture of the Greeks that they deemed her one of the essential building blocks of civilization in their creation myth.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's very sensical because without her, literally, you don't even know any of this.
Exactly. Oral tradition for Greek mythology is like the most important because that was how it was supposed to be told, and getting it right was also like super important. But that's also why we have a million different versions of these things, because everyone is going to misremember something.
Yeah, telephone.
For sure.
But
Totally
I would
different
imagine
story.
I would imagine that Mnemosyne was pretty forgiving with that. Just if you get a couple things wrong, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We're very incestuous and confusing. It's not. It's fine.
She's like, I get it.
I get it. So after Mnemosyne, we get to Phoebe, which, according to myth, she was the original owner of the Oracle of Delphi before giving it to her grandson Apollo. Her name, meaning bright, was also given to a number of lunar goddesses like Artemis, but she was never considered a lunar goddess. Phoebe's more known for her lineage that we'll get to in the future. So her Titan brother lover was Cous.
Titan brother lover.
Good
Titan
Lord.
brother lover, yeah.
God.
The last goddess Titan we get is Tethys, who doesn't really have any mythology in her own right, other than she is a sister and wife of her brother, Titan brother lover Oceanus, and the mother of the river gods and the Oceanids.
Okay.
Although Tethys had no active role in Greek mythology and no established cults, she was depicted in mosaics decorating baths, pools, and triclinia in the Greek East, particularly in Antioch and its suburbs, either alone or with Oceanus. So apparently there's about 3,000 river gods, so they got busy, like, had so many kids. There's also a version where Oceanus and Tethys, rather than Uranus and Gaia, as in Hesiod, that Oceanus and Tethys were the primeval parents of these gods. I guess Titans and also parents of themselves.
Maury.
He really needs to be in on this.
Yeah, we need a Greek god Maury.
He would be called Maury too. Like I feel like that'd be a great name.
Maureus.
They have, like, court on Mount Olympus, and he's got this special little pass to come up, and he's like, all right, Maury, here's the situation. We need your help.
I want him to still dress modern AF and have the envelope. Like he needs to be
Yeah.
Maury.
Yeah, he needs to be
But
Maury.
there.
Maybe they're waiting for Maury.
These bitches are catty as fuck. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll
better be some
we'll
chair
figure it
throwing.
out. Yeah. So that's all of the Titans. Then Uranus rapes Gaia again. So
Rude.
then she has the
Messed up.
Cyclops siblings.
Oh.
So there's Brontus, which is thunder, Stereopus, which is lightning, and Argus, which is specifically bright like the brightness from a lightning flash.
I see. Okay.
And then guess what?
Uh-oh, he does it again.
Does he do it again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with yes here, Maury.
Yeah, he does it again. So she gives birth to the 100-hand childrens.
The whole thing.
The Hecatoncheires. Literally, it's like a French or something for 100 hands.
Okay.
So there's Cottus, Briarios, and Gyges. But each of these guys had 100 arms and 50 heads.
What?
Who even could count them? I feel like you would lose
Yeah.
track.
I would imagine that's a little bit of, like, exaggeration, you know. Oh my god, he had like 100 hands. Maybe he only had 25, but there's a lot to keep track of.
Damn.
Who even knows if they were equal on each side?
Oh, God.
Ew.
Also, by that point, you've got, like, I mean, literally, it's just arms and heads, like, sprouting out of your body. You must look like a walking, talking monster.
Right, I was gonna say,
Especially
how did they
if you still
move?
only have 2 legs,
Yeah, how's that holding it all
how
up?
do you move?
Big ass. You gotta do squats.
Giant cartwheel ball. That's how you
You
roll.
just
You literally
roll.
roll
Yeah,
around.
you just roll around.
You roll.
One continuous cartwheel.
Rolling.
Extra coordination for that, though. Like, I feel like the more limbs you have, like, the bigger portion of your brain needs to be dedicated.
Well,
to
so looked at
big
octopuses. They have extremely precise movements with all 8 of their little limbs.
That's insane.
Yeah. So they're a lot. And on the birth of each of these children and elements, Uranus decides to hide them within Gaia, which causes her a lot of pain. So, because he's forcing her to have these kids that are these gods, and then he's just like digging her up and burying them or hiding them away inside of her. She can't be with her kids. She also is in pain. I don't know. We're just rolling with it. So she devises a plan and enlists the help of her youngest Titan son, Kronos. She makes this adamantine sickle that Kronos uses then to castrate Uranus when he tries to come back and rape Gaia again.
It's about damn time.
Yeah.
He's walking up and he's like, all right, off to do my rapes.
Unconsensual sex.
Non-consensual sex. Oh no, what is that? A sickle? Oh no! My dick and balls got chopped off.
My dick and balls.
Oh no, not my dick and balls.
Oh, God.
That I used to repeatedly violate my mother.
Is his anus okay?
Is she not able to move? Because I would be like, Mom, run.
Yeah, that's a great point. Can she go anywhere?
She's the Earth. She can't exactly
Then again,
go
she's
anywhere.
the Earth.
She's
so
the Earth.
he
She's just
probably
constantly spinning.
Puts his dick hole in his dick in like a cave or something.
Oh.
Maybe
Sorry,
that's how
I didn't
she
mean to
can have
picture
so many
that.
kids. Like there's a bunch of caves around the world.
Yeah,
That just means that Uranus is then like going all over the world, just fucking any hole that he can find too.
Oh, that's a sad thought. I don't like that. And no, I have to keep blocking it out.
Have I scarred you yet?
A little bit, but it's fine. That's Greek mythology, baby. That's what we're here for.
That's Greek mythology, baby.
That's it. I have submitted to that. That's fine. All right, so they cut off his dick and balls. Cronus has gotten back at his dad that he hates so much.
Yep, they come back and they cut off his dick and balls. So Cronus spills the blood of Uranus, which then Gaia uses to produce the Erinyes, which are female goddesses of vengeance. Quote, the Erinyes that under earth take vengeance on men, whosoever hath sworn a false oath. While the actual number of these ladies vary, Virgil, probably working from an Alexandrian source, recognized 3. They had Alecto, which was endless anger, Megara, which was jealous rage, and Tisiphone, or Tilphusia, which is vengeful destruction.
I like that one. I'm all for the vengeful destruction.
I mean,
especially
it's vengeance.
Especially if you come from spilled raping dick blood. Like,
Yeah.
What else are you gonna be?
You're just
And
pure
we go
rage.
back to like the division by anger and violence versus versus a loving union. So this is definitely violent blood spilled. So we've got endless anger and jealous rage and vengeful destruction, like all these things that you want to see in someone who has violated you many, many times. So the droplets that spread around the earth or around Gaia while these things were happening, they also made the giants, which was a whole race of giants, and the Meliae, which were ash tree nymphs.
Ooh. I love me a good tree nymph. They're just so whimsical.
How many tree nymphs do you know about? Because I only know about, like, a couple of them.
I don't know any by name, but I think they're cool.
They're very
That's
cool.
my extended knowledge.
So the Meliae have disagreement on a lot of where they originate, and they'll kind of come back in, so we'll talk about them in a little while, too. Last but not least, from Uranus' testicles burst forth Aphrodite, goddess of love,
Whoa.
desire, and passion.
That's a weird one to come out of there. Wait, so
Yeah.
she's not an Olympian, technically?
So she is she's one of kind of the OG gods.
Ah.
And we'll get into the Titans versus the Olympians, too, because that's a whole thing.
Okay.
Had a whole war over that.
Yeah. So Gaia's other son, Pontus, also helped her birth, and I'm going to guess that this was not in quite so violent a way, but her son Pontus also helped her birth what are called the sea deities. So this was the waters. So the deities are Nereus, Thaumas, Phorcys, Ceto, and Eurybia.
All right.
So all of those are dudes except for Ceto and Eurybia. Ceto is also known as a sea monster, and as a mythological figure, she is considered to be one of the most ancient deities and bore a huge host of monstrous children fathered by Phorcys, who is another child of Gaia and Pontus.
Okay.
And then Eurybia is our last person that we're going to talk about today, and this is going to be the end of the episode. She was the goddess of mastery of the seas, power over them, particularly external factors like the winds or the rising of the constellations. So she got with Creus, and she had a bunch of kids. And I want to say, I'm going to go back, I think Creus is one of the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the names he said.
Yep.
So she would be somebody that like sailors would probably know a lot because they'd be praying to her for navigation purposes.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. You're following the stars. You've got, you're figuring out how to kind of move around in the world. Yeah.
It would make sense, though, why she'd be so old, because she'd be one of the first things that people would be like, oh, man, we got to pray for these sailors, because they're, who knows,
Yeah.
will fall off the edge.
Yeah.
We have no idea what's out besides like maybe a mile off coast.
Well, and at this point, people didn't even exist. When we're talking about the invention of all of these gods, this is like long before man has ever shown up to the party.
Good
Obviously,
God, could you imagine being a human watching this as somebody gets a 100-armed person ripped out of their J?
Oh my god.
God.
and then the droplets spill, and out of them sprout forth giants.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden, there's these huge, fully formed things that are just roaming the world.
From
And
blood
never
drops.
eat that mushroom again.
That was a bad trip.
This is the worst trip I have ever had.
Yeah.
It'll be chaos.
So
but it'll be fun.
incestuous.
All right. So that is the first 3 generations of the gods.
We're barely getting
And
in there.
we've got the Titans, we've got the Cyclops, we've got the Giants, we've got the Fates, we've got a bunch of them. We've got so many.
And we ain't even done yet.
We ain't even done yet. Yeah, we haven't even started yet. This is just basically laying the plot line, like laying down the characters. Here's our cast of characters.
Yeah, we're going to get into the nitty gritty of who backstabbed who, who's in allegiance with who.
Who's raping who? Because that's a pretty big theme.
Next time we record, we're going to go through what these people did and why they were all pissed at each other.
Yeah. So we're going to be figuring that all out pretty soon.
Yes.
So love it. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me. This
course.
is super fun.
Yeah.
And is there anything you'd like to plug? I know we have your podcast, Obviously We Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all that's all I'm looking to plug. Everything
Love
else
it.
is just...
All right, perfect. Well, if you want to look for us, you can find us, the Well Behaved Women, on Facebook. We do have our own Facebook page, Well Behaved Women. You can find us on Reddit. We have our Reddit community at r/Well Behaved Women. If you want to find us on Twitter, you can find us at Behaved Women. And then if you want to send us, I know, trying to figure, we have to find a much easier way to say that. And then obviously we have our Gmail. If you want to send us an email, tell us what you think, who you guys want to hear about. Our email is wellbehavedwomenpodcast@gmail.com. All right. And that's it for us.
Bye, guys.